Oh yeah. Oh, I need to go grab my computer. I completely forgot about this part. Alright. I forgot my computer. Okay. Okay. Gotta get up my computer. Gonna make a lot of noises because it's kind of low on battery. But it's okay, because all I need to do is just post the stream link onto places and things. Should have also grabbed out roaches. Once again, really bad at planning these streams. Every time I stream, I always worry that I accidentally put it on unlisted. Like I did that one time when I streamed for an hour and nothing happened. So I'm ensure that's not the case right now. I need to go onto my stream. I believe it's public anyways. If not, then that's gonna be kind of funny. Alright. On to YouTube. What do I find my channel? There it is, okay. Alright. Still checking for everything because sometimes these streams decide to go ahead and just not work. Let me open up a second tab here. Onto a different one of my YouTube channels because that shouldn't appear that I have anything. So let's go ahead and open up and switch accounts. Let's go to that one. Okay, so it is. Okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. We're all good. We're all good. 3 minutes of checking. That is okay by my standards. As long as the stream is actually up. Where's the server? There it is. Okay. Scroll up into YouTube uploads and bada bing. Alright. Now that that is shouted out, actually I should probably copy this and bring it out other areas because I do not pre-prepare for these things, even though I probably should. Send it here as well. Working through everything still. Oh great, got rid of all my stuff. Here. Here. I need to favorite this. Okay. Please edit the video. Oh, fun. Okay. Well, I guess I'll just... real quickly... I'm supposed to paste this into the thing, but I guess I can just do one of these. Oh, I'm not on my YouTube channel. Stream's already been a mess. Let's go here. So now it's me on here. And now... get this out of here. Please. Please. Get this out of here. My pin. There we go. Alright. Okay. That was a lot more work than what it had to be. Okay. Computer part done. I really should have done that figured out before going live. Fun. Alright. Shut this. Put this down. Turn off my mouse. Oh. Hi. Okay. Alright, time to get feedings done. Alright. Because the thing that I have to feed them on is below my tripod at the moment. So I should probably try and readjust here. There are thousands of ants in this colony. Thousands upon thousands of ants. Oh boy, it's been a while since I've had to do this. It's been a while since I've been able to do this, to be quite honest. Oh! There we go. Without disturbing my spider all too much. Just like that. Alright. Anyways, I gotta move my stuff here because the insects I need to feed are in a bin that is right next to these ants. Which is great, so if there's any type of escape, the roaches will be the first to get hit, but that's okay because there's like 1,000 of them. Alright. Oh, sorry, spider. Oh, that's where you moved. Okay, so I don't have to be worried. Okay. That's fine by me. Alright, let's grab something. I don't know what to grab. Yeah, this container should do. Alright. Time to feed everybody. Do I not have scissors? Doesn't look like I do. I guess I'll do the old-fashioned way. Alright. Grab some feeders and let's get this show on the road. Let me kill you. There we go. There we go. That's them fed. However, I need to grab out more because if I don't have out more, then how am I supposed to feed the rest of them? So. Okay, done. Now, 'tis time. Uh-oh. I can't shut this. Alright, shut now. Alright. Get out this talcum powder out of my thing here. And let me quickly grab more, and then I'll be able to look at the chat in a second. Now I need to just quickly grab out all of the roaches I'm going to need for today. Oh, I dumped them. No! That's okay. Wasn't too bad to grab them all again. Oh, come on. No, great. They're going to get a light dusting. Well, scratch that idea then. I do not want my stuff to be eating talcum powder. That does not sound very nice. I need to clean off my roaches now. They're cleaning off the roaches. Alright, let me see chat real quick since I've been neglecting it for a little bit now. As I'm wiping off the roaches of the dust. Though it won't hurt the animals, I don't feel like having them eat it. Oh! One roach tried to get out. Let me shut the thing on it. Alright. Look at chat. Which colony is this? This is the Fidelia Rhea. and I'll be getting you a better shot here in a second. I had to grab out all the roaches that I needed because how I have it set up for the Fidelity Rhea is that the tripod has to sit on the roach bin. So, yeah. So how do I get that tripod back where it was? Right there. Oh. 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 Oh, come on now. Come on now. There we go. All right. And now I'll actually be able to read chat. All right. Let me quickly go to top chat again. The Mexicana lived for like a month or two before the queen decided to die. And now the queen has decided to not... The colony is deciding not to feed the fungus anymore, so the fungus is just kind of dying. They have all the food they need. The nest is moist enough, so the colony is just kind of falling apart, which kind of sucks. Also, yeah, the AZO2 are still fine. They're actually growing quite a bit, but it's hard to get video of them because they're in a tube. Should have brought in a chair so I could just sit down. What could I use as a chair in my room? Well, let's go with the step ladder. This should work. The step ladder. Just kind of sit down. Look at chat. Yeah, they're doing all right. They're eating well. They drink a lot of sugars, a lot more than what these guys do. To be fair, these guys are a lot more seed motivated than anything else. They also are not AZO2 as I thought they might be. We believe it's now Fatally Crassicornis and not AZO2. So, you know. Still Fatale, still really cool because I have 3 queens, but it works. They are extremely diverse. I think the second most commonly seen in the world as far as like largest goes. Generally don't stream this late, but I had a lot of nothing going on, so I decided to stream. Oh, speaking of which, I should probably go like this and turn Do Not Disturb on. Oh. Oopsies. Oh, oopsies. Uh-oh, what'd I do? Oh. There we go. Back to being stable. They are swarming, though. Probably give them some more seeds. I know I just gave them some seeds, but they never don't accept seeds, so if I can find where my seeds went, now, you know, I'll throw in some grain. A nice big handful of grain shall do. I should have moved that more closer in the camera, but it's okay. You know what? I still have a small pile. I'll just, like, put it here. There we go. They also never refuse grain, so we should be fine. Or, like, rolled oats, should I say. We have a nice size trash pile now that I need to clean up soon. This I had to finally just like put all the broken up seed bits from the nest back into the other thing. Not yet. I I haven't seen Elates in a little bit, but I'm sure that they'll make more in the future. Of course, after their kind of biggish collapse that happened, they stopped making elates, but now that they're going back onto the protein grind, as you can see by the crickets, I'm expecting them to grow a little bit more now, and I'm expecting them to grow bigger than what they were previous to their collapse. So, yeah, hopefully I'll be able to expand to a fourth nest for them, and then maybe connect another outworld somewhere in my room for them to travel. Because this setup here is not adequate for their trailing, because they love to trail a lot more than just this like tiny little area. I mean, it's a big outworld, but it's tiny for them. But it gets the job done for now. Yeah, I want to do what I did with my Liomatopum, where I like kind of spiral tubing upwards onto like the second part of this what's it called, the wooden shelf that me and my dad made, and then from there, like I'll probably have to clear off a lot of the stuff that is up here, which is currently like being used as storage. I have a bunch of old nests up here. I have a few spiders, but I mean I could probably figure something out. There we go. All right. I see them swarming that cricket or that roach. That's crazy. It really doesn't take a lot to get like well over a few hundred workers out of that nest and into the outworld. You really see a pronounced trail forming, like right here. Yeah, I really want to see them in the wild. Uh, I know Tyler Arthropod Antics. Um, he has a pretty nicely sized colony in a massive aquarium, like a 55-gallon, I think. And that's awesome. I'd love to do that, but I do not. I don't feel safe enough to do that, or I don't feel like my skills of making outworlds is enough to even try making a setup like that. I mean, it's awesome, and it's really cool to see that he did it, but I do not think I could do it. You've seen him in the wild, though. I really want to go to Arizona and see these guys out in the wild more. Which hopefully in July, if everything works out well, which it looks like it will be. I'm making sure that I make it to this. I'll be in Arizona for like a month. Alongside Cheetah. I'll be hanging out with Arthropod Antics, Tyler, and a few other people who are in the general group of peeps. It'll be fun though. I can't wait to get there. I just gotta wait out the cold and bitter months that are winter. I mean, that's kind of obvious. I mean, that's like a staple of the channel. Uh, I was to. So I'm fiddling with my mouse. Um, if I am to go there though, there's definitely going to be lots of vlogs. There's going to be many documentaries made on different ant species there. I'm hoping to document the Atomexicana flights. I'm not going to catch any queens because catching the queens, like, there's only a small area within a town that you can actually catch the queens without being on a national park, and most of those queens are not bred because they don't want to like they try to limit like inbreeding between colonies, and there's only like 3 colonies in that area, so they rarely ever come out as being fertile. So yeah, I just want to go there early in the morning to document their flying because it's pretty cool. And of course, acromyrmex flights and some weather stuff, but that's not going to be on this channel. It'll be on the weather channel. And then of course, just getting there is going to be a whole vlog and a half probably. I've been thinking about maybe streaming the drive down there. I think that would be cool. I think that would be fun. It's like a 25-hour drive, so we're looking at probably 3 days of driving pretty much because we want to take our time and actually explore a decent part of the U.S. Stop at like preserves or like stop at areas that look interesting. Um, take some photos and then get on the road again. Maybe see some flights. I don't know. We'll see. We're going in July, and so far this winter has proven to be extremely wet for a lot of the U.S. So hopefully the Super El Nino by the time of July has died down. Because if that isn't the case, then we're going to be seeing less rain than what you would normally see in July during the monsoon season. So hopefully that doesn't happen, because I think monsoon season is going to be cool. We are going insane. What did you do? Um, the Rhea are. I fed them. I just fed them roaches. They love roaches. This is just an average response for roaches on with Rhea. Like, they just love them. I think it'll be good. I mean, I'm not going to be here for like the height of flight season for Wisconsin, since I will be in, Arizona during that time. But I think I dropped my tongs. But I think that ultimately it will be a good time, I think. Certainly, it can't be better than what this year was. This year was terrible. This year was probably the worst year for flights I've ever experienced, so it's only up from here, I'd assume. Unless I literally catch 0 queens, it has to be better than this year. Which I know that there's a guarantee that I'm going to be catching queens this year. There'd be no way that I wouldn't catch queens, or that anyone wouldn't catch queens, I think. Unless it's another year like this, then there's going to be issues. The Midwest really struggled this year. Like any, honestly, in general, and I mean, ant keeping was kind of struggling. Formica are generally one of the easier ones to get. I mean, you just kind of go out like midday after rain, and you'll catch queens. But for this year, there was so little rain that they kind of just flew whenever. So the standard way of catching them was no longer the standard. So you just kind of had to get lucky. I saw 2 Subsrecia flights. Both times I didn't bring my ant stuff, so I just had to let the queens go, which absolutely sucked because I saw a good like 20 or 30 queens, but I couldn't collect them because I had nothing to collect them with. Not even a bottle. So I couldn't collect multiple queens. Since they can be housed together, they can found colonies together. You can just throw a bunch of queens into a bottle and they shouldn't care. As long as you let air through so they don't like gas themselves with their formic acid. But Nothing. So I just had to kind of painfully walk away from it. Yeah, it sucked. Even the Campo flights, I was planning on getting a Camponatus Nova Borecensis colony going again because those are some of my favorite ants. Um, they ended up not flying really at all. I caught like 8 queens, which is generally enough to, get a colony going, but then I had a 100% mortality rate. So every queen died, not even founding a colony or getting past eggs. It was horrible. On the Temnothorax that I caught, they also just flopped for whatever reason. That was quite annoying too. Uh, so far, the only ants that I've had success with so far this year has been Lasius, and they're currently in hibernation, but they should generally survive. I think. I mean, they should do fine, but yeah, 0 of them. Yeah, it sucked. Yeah, generally Lasius are fine every single year. It was even like it kind of sucked as well because I ended up going to Rice Lake, Wisconsin with the owner of Stateside Ants and Midwest Antics, who was in this chat, and then along with 2 other people, and we ended up spending like a weekend there, and we caught 0 flights, and that was in June, so it was like peak Campo season, and while it was really dry in Rice Lake, Wisconsin, over where I lived, we were getting tons of rain, so I probably missed the Nove flights then because I went on the trip to Rice Lake with the owner Stateside Ants and Midwest Antics, which is just more or less unlucky. But then when we left, it had rained the day before, so there was going to be Campbell flights then, but we had to get home, so we missed the flights. uh, so yeah, it's lots of fun this year. I was gonna make like a best of for this year, but I've decided not to because that would take a very long time of editing and a lot of effort. Um, so I think this year's I'm gonna make like a year recap, just chatting about how this year was. Probably on the 31st or the day before the 31st, and then make a nice little playlist of just all of my favorite videos for this year, and then just leave it at that because I don't feel like taking hours of rendering and editing and voiceovers and all that. I'm not ready for another big project. They are going crazy though. Like, this is insane. They always have the most energetic feeding responses ever. It's crazy. I mean, let me move my little seat. That's just my. Oh, oh. Okay, we're good. Move this, and then let me real quick. Yeah, they are going absolutely crazy. It is like they haven't had roaches since this point. Currently, as you see them, like eating and all that, they haven't had roaches in easily close to a year. So they are enjoying this. Oh hey Bins, it's been a while. How's it going? Not really. You talking to the server? Yes, I am getting close to 1K. Very exciting. From 800 to 900 was a very short time span. Like that was quite impressive. I wasn't expecting to get to 900 this fast, since 800 to 700 or 700 to 800 was an extremely slow amount of time. Good. I'm bored, so I streamed. So I'm just in the room watching the ants eat. Probably gonna go feed the Rhea, or not the Rhea, the Fatally Crassicornis / AZO2, whatever they are, since they've been eating daily when it comes to protein, and I'll probably feed some of my tarantulas and scorpions since they need feeding as well. I would feed the brown widow, but as per usual, I fed her already, so she is not hungry. She's quite fat right now. Decided not to get Indica. Indica's cool. I like Mega a little bit more, though. My Indica died almost immediately, so... I'd believe it. I'd believe that they'd do better in artificial nests. I gotta... One of the nests wasn't being heated. I had to fix that. They give red majors too. Yeah, their majors are just I don't really care for their majors, mainly because they're just like bicarinatum or bicarinata majors. My polygynous Fatale colony, the Fatally Crassicornis / AZO2, they have 3 queens, and their majors are meh. They aren't the most impressive thing in the world, but I know that this colony is going to get rather large, rather fast, so I'm keeping them anyways. If I could find my flashlight. Let me look for the flashlight real quick. I have no idea where it went. How peculiar. Yeah, that's alright. That don't matter. I think you'd still be able to see the Crassicornis a little bit better, or a little bit at least, just with this. That's them. They have that's their little brood pile there. How long do you think Rhea will live? A very long time. Probably like 20, 30 years. A little brood pile. Not very interesting. I need to clean out their nest, though, that's for sure. Where'd I put it? There it is. Okay. Let me real quick slide my laptop over. I have to use the screen in order to clean them up because oh, okay. You know what? It seems like there's still workers in them, so I'm just gonna slide them over. And all of the roaches that I grabbed are like way too big for this colony, so oh, you volunteered, okay. So part of this roach is just gonna go to the Rhea. Here you go. Boop. And for you'll get the nice and juicy part, colony. Okay, there you go. wish I had a light to use, but I don't. That makes this a little bit hard to see for the stream, but there's not much I can really do about that. So that's for maybe come at it from a different angle. Yeah, like that. Yeah, these guys have at least like 80, 90 workers at this point. There's a major. Actually, a few majors. And there's a queen that's actually out. Oh, there's two queens that are out. Nice. Tiny, small, little ants. Yeah, the majors aren't exactly the greatest thing around, to be honest. Like, they just kind of look like Fedole, like small Fedole majors. They're just like, because these guys aren't like seed guys, they're just generalists, so they don't really have a need to make majors, like really big majors. Unlike the Rhea, who are seed people, or seed people, they're seed specialists. These guys are generalists, so they aren't going to make very big majors at all. Much like how Fiddly Megacephala doesn't make very large majors because they are not seed specialists, they're just generalists. As you can see, these guys are just kind of small. However, their colony is going to get rather large, so I mean, I really have no reason to complain. Fairly proliferate, yeah. Polyphera, I've always enjoyed Polyphera. They're kind of like the they're like the best Fedole species in Wisconsin. Besides, they're one of the two, which is Fedole bicarinata and Fedole polyphera. I enjoyed Polyphera when I had them. I had them for a brief moment, and then the workers decided not to go outside and be dumb, and they died. Uh, Story of my life with a lot of Fedole. These guys, though, these guys, as you can see, are not dumb. And they actually eat their food. And they actually come outside. Yeah, these guys are eating daily, too. And who could have ever guessed that the Fedole Rhea are eating daily as well? It's an absolute shocker. Yeah, that's these tiny little guys. I feed roaches now. Before I was just feeding meats. Now I'm feeding actual roaches, as you can see. I bought like 1,000 of these Turkish, or not Turkestan, lobster roaches. And to say the least, they love them. They really love them. If you want to see an impressive major, there you go. I mean, that's not even the most impressive, but... And the most blurry. There we go. These majors are like... So since their collapse, they started making a lot of these like really tiny majors, which I don't know if you can see them. Okay, there's one. There's one of the smaller majors, but there's other ones that are even smaller somewhere around here. Yeah, there. Look at those majors. They're tiny. They're absolutely just tiny little things. And they started producing these because they didn't have that many colonies. or they didn't have that many workers, so they were producing a lot more workers and putting less protein into the majors. So there's just a ton of these real tiny guys just kind of chilling out here. It's just great. And of course the nest, which looks like this at the moment. Of course. Oh wow, that's fun. Let me enable flash real quick. There's a... Oh, that's super major right there. Kind of walking around. Oh, disappeared. Super majors don't generally come out very often. But generally, the queen is in here somewhere. Where are you, queen? Is that you? Yeah, that's you. There she is. You can see her head. That's the only thing you can see of her. It's just her head. She's just getting swarmed by workers. Wait, is that the queen or is that a super? I can't tell. That's a super. Never mind. That is not the queen. Where's the queen? Where is she? That's another super. Where did she go? It's always fun trying to search for her because she's always just kinda hiding. I think she's this mass here. See it. Only mass that's there. She's never in this nest, because this nest is mainly used for, like, seeds and stuff. There's some pupae here. This is generally her favorite hangout spot, but I don't know where she is. Might be hanging out in the corner there. I don't know. It's weird, because you can see the ground in this nest. That's a little weird. Generally, they don't. You aren't able to even see that. Let me quickly move this stuff over. And here's that other nest. Okay, that's why. They moved all the stuff into here. This is like the dry nest. I never really humidify this nest, but because of the other two nests constantly getting humidity, you can see that they moved eggs in here. I think actually because there's eggs in here, she's here. She's someone there. She's somewhere in that massive, massive just ant. Generally at night, like most of the colony is outside just foraging. It takes them a little bit to get inbreeding, so it took mine a few months at least to get to inbreeding size, and did, and then the colony died. They're such good escapists, though. Yeah, it's somewhere on my channel. When I recorded my colony, trying to have flights. That was a while ago. It was like 2022, I think? 2021? I honestly forget what year I filmed that. The farther I go on with YouTube, the more I kind of forget about what videos I've made. A lot of like the early channel stuff is just like videos of ants and me not speaking, and that's that's a lot of stuff. What species do you get next? You should get Solenopsis geminata. uh, Calabopsis, I've never kept Calabopsis yet, so I can't exactly make an opinion on them. One of my friends found the first ever Calabopsis impressa in New York and then proceeded to kill it and then never send it in for like examination. So I don't know if Calabopsis impressa has been listed in New York yet since then, but caught like 5 queens and all died. And yeah, I think he sold a few. I think he sold like two, and then the rest died, and he never, not even once, considered bringing them into like Antweb or something. Oh boy, not exactly the smartest person ever. That would have been like if one of the people who found Camponotus chromites here in Wisconsin, if they just decided not to record or take a photo and report it to iNaturalist or anything like that. I was actually thinking about getting Tetrapronera rufo, but I decided not to because I really want to get Pseudomyrmex. Brachymyrmex staphylis, I've kept queens and I've tried to found them. I got really close to getting workers, but I never got them to workers. And either way, it's not like I would have really wanted them. Their workers are like 0.1 millimeter. I've seen colonies in the wild though. They're kind of weird, but also kind of cool because they look like literal dust. Like you even like macro lenses can't even really pick them up that well because of how tiny they are. It's pretty impressive. Iridomyrmex are cool. I'd get Iridomyrmex. I've heard that they're easy to kill though. Oh boy, my dogs are going off. I shall go see why. Oh wow, for literally no reason that my dogs are going off. That's fun. Let me go see what they see. All right, I'm back. I'd love to go to Australia, do some anting there. There's a lot of deadly things there, so I'd have to be careful. I wouldn't be able to just like randomly pick up snakes or anything, since everything there is like in a lapid. If it's obviously Python, then clearly you'd be safe to handle, but still. Besides for that, I think I'm planning on buying some more various other insects besides for ants. Even though I only have 2 ant colonies, there's really nothing to buy at the moment, so. And I have a few empty setups for scorpions and tarantulas and stuff, so I'm just gonna buy some scorpions and tarantulas. One Camponotus pennsylvanicus queen is quite the fun. Fogo barb, they're all right. They take a while to grow, but they're okay. Then again, I'm just a general hater of you know, pogos, so I can't really comment. Although at the moment, I'd honestly take anything over having just two colonies, so maybe, taking a pogo colony isn't too bad. I'd love to see pogo flights though. Those that I think that would be cool. Camponotus fragilis, eh. I've a lot of people really like them. Them and Fascinatus, a lot of people love. I got to keep Colony, and honestly, I didn't really understand the hype around them. They just kind of felt like like a subbarbatus, which is like one of the smaller species of Camponotus around like in the Midwest area. For the European in the chat, or Europeans, I don't know how many. I don't know how many people here are European or not. I can tell that at least one of you are in fact from the states. So yeah, I knew that Ben. I knew that you were in the UK. I knew that Daniel was from the US because I don't know how many people casually have subbarbatus. They aren't exactly the most popular species to be kept in uh, Europe. Everyone in Europe either has like fragilis, like the Texas species I always forget the name of, or like honeypots. They aren't exactly very. I mean, most data that are going in now are like Atasextons, cephalotes, and Mexicana, which are all like coming in from Mexico, as far as I know. I mean, you literally can't catch cephalotes here because they aren't here, and Mexicana, so few queens are caught that like there's literally no money to be made selling to Europe for people who catch U.S. Mexicana. Out of like the four people who did. Yeah, Diversa are so easy. Also, yeah, the Diversa are or the Rhea are currently cleaning up. They're bringing the roaches over to the dead body stand. Let's see here. Who could I feed? Seeing as in both ant colonies are currently eating, the Rhea are currently wrapping up their feeding. I still have a decent amount of roaches out. Probably feed some of my scorpions, I guess. Let me take some of those down. I just tapped on the glass. I'm sure you really were a fan of what I just did there. Let's grab down all of these. Oh, you guys are heavy. I forgot. Put you guys down. You don't get fed today because you already ate. You already ate. You haven't ate. You need to be watered as well. Okay, I'm figuring everything out. Alright, on to the beautiful clean floor. I was also offered harps, but I decided to deny because I don't feel like having something that dies so easily in my collection. Same thing with Myrmecia. I've been offered Myrmecia before in the past, and I said no. Because who... I mean, actually, I know many people who want Myrmecia, but I do not personally want them. Why am I opening this up? I literally have roaches out. I just need to find them. Where did I put them? Hold on. Ah, there they are. Okay. Hold on a minute. Continue staring at my floor. Like, grab more roaches. There we go. Put you down there, I guess. Myrmecia look awesome, but I'm scared. Oh, man. But I'm scared I will literally die from an escape. I mean, the likelihood of you dying isn't exactly the highest, but, you know. I guess it's always something to be mindful of. How do I get out of the light? You know, how about that? That would be nice. No, oh boy. This is one of my first ever scorpions. She's real cool. She's really hungry, so I'm not going to attempt to handle her because that'll just end in me getting bit or stung or clamped onto. So I'm not going to attempt that. However, what I am going to attempt is to feed her once I'm able to find... Nah, it doesn't matter. I can just grab the big boy one. Oh boy. Roach, you're about to meet your maker. Oh, hold on a minute. Oh, there we go. One delicious, delectable roach coming up. Stop fighting me. Let go. Thank you. Oh, it's going in for the sting. Oh, 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 yeah. Yeah, that was awesome. I'm saving that as a highlight. That's rare. She normally never stings. Why are ants so expensive? Because exotic species for Europe's case, and for America's case, there's only a few shops that can legally sell them. So, buying ants legally is expensive. This is normally when I'd like try to plug like my Patreon or something because I have a stateside ants discount code, but I'm not going to do that. All right. Next up, I do not think I have a big enough or small enough roach for these guys. That's out. So, yeah, that's fun. However, what I can do is try to show you them. Hello. Boop. Boop, boop, boop. Poking a little demon. Boop. It's not very happy with me. Alright, let's see if I have one that's at least somewhat smaller. You might be able to take this one down. Sting him. Dang. Yeah, no. I have some experience with her. I've handled her in the past, so. You want to take it? You want food? You want food? You want food? No, but you stung it. She stung it, but she doesn't want the food. Take it! Fine. Take it! Yeah, no! Okay, where's your roommate? There's one of you. Where's the second one? There's you. It's gonna take a bit of searching, isn't it? Okay, well that's how I'm going with my hands. Okay, so I know where you are. So you ate your roommate, which is not impossible. But I kind of doubt it, because you guys have been well fed. Oh, there you are! I was wondering where you were. You want it? No, you just stung it? Okay. Well, I guess they aren't very hungry today. And this guy's gonna die of being stung by the second most venomous species in the United States, so I might as well feed him off to something. Ants, go ahead, have at it. Roommate is crazy. Will they breed? I mean, I'm hoping eventually. I don't know if they're male or female. I haven't actually checked. Hopefully they'll breed. I want to have a bunch of them, but as you can tell, no babies. No babies yet. So, I mean, not much I can really do here. Except sit there and hope that eventually they will go ahead and breed, but they may not. Next up, although it says dairy cows, like the, not an actual dairy cow, but the isopod species, these are not dairy cows. Room service. Oh wow, actually that was fast to find them. Here's a little baby. Look at that. My Laotian. My Laotian giant forest scorpion. The one down here is just a normal Asian forest scorpion, and that's a Florida bark scorpion. But he is tiny. Real tiny. So, I don't think he'll eat any of the massive roaches, which means I'd have to open up the other one to go grab more roaches. So, let me go ahead and do that. Now, I'll give you a nice zoom in shot on him. Just for him to sit there and do... Oh wow, that's a beautiful blur. Okay, there we go. Not as blurry anymore. Yeah, come here. Alright. Crack that part open. Drop this. Alright, time to see if he's actually going to eat. Oh, where did he go? Oh, that's fun. Hello? Where did you go? What? Excuse me? Hello? Are you here? Oh. Here you are. Scorpions honestly aren't that bad. The likelihood of you getting stung is like very, very small. And I can't find my smaller pair of tweezers still. That's annoying. But yeah, anyways, very low chance of actually getting stung. When they're small, that's like the only time when you're gonna get stung, really. Because they are very ferocious eaters. Except for this one, apparently. Not ferocious at all. Although you'll get to keep that one, because I knew that. Unlike the other two here, who are actually really good eater. He crawled out. That's not good. It's not good at all. This girl came close to crawling out. My Costa Rican. She could have crawled out because as you can see here, you see this that's all like covered. This is under like mesh, right? This is like a mesh lid. My cat decided to break the mesh lid. So, yeah, so she could have left, but she never did. So that's great. I'm happy about that one. Because if I lost her, that would have sucked. Luckily, I've never had her get out, or the one down here ever get out, because those guys are massive. And it would have probably just been eaten by my dog, I'm not even gonna lie. To be honest, I'm more worried than, having these guys get out. Like, or even these guys. This here, the Fidole are going to most definitely get out. Like, it's kind of inevitable for them to eventually break out of this prison of theirs, because it's just how Fidole work. They will always break out. And as far as my favorite insect in the room currently, probably my Emperor Scorpion, who's up here. Want to say hi? Cheese. He's really mean. He's really mean. He's really rude, but it's okay. I still love him. Anyways, eventually he's gonna get outranked though. He will eventually get outranked. Currently, like, he's probably my favorite. Followed up by her. She's hiding up in there, but is she actually hiding? Yes, she is. There's a little black mass in there. That's my brown widow. And then probably a tie between my Lasiodora parabana and my Costa Rican striped knee. I like those two a lot. Also, yes, more than my Rhea. I like my Rhea, but that Emperor Scorpion's been like a dream species of mine. Rhea were less of a dream species and more or less just happened to be that I knew someone who caught queens, so I bought them. Soon, though, the Emperor Scorpion's going to get outranked because I'm going to be getting another dream species of mine that I've been on the look for getting in a while. And I should be getting them probably next week. So I'm going to have to pay like over $100 for shipping and for this animal. And it's so cold. I mean, it's pretty... yeah, pretty much, to be honest. They're both one of the most, like, cool ant colonies that I've ever owned, and currently my oldest ant colony. But also they're a pain. They're a massive pain. But I like them at the same time, therefore I haven't gotten rid of them. What am I looking for? I'm looking for anything, honestly. I kind of forgot. Oh no, they aren't dead. I just don't talk about them. I prefer not to talk about them. They're still alive. They're the oldest technically, but as far as the channel is concerned, I mean not even. I mean, I just don't like talking about the Paleolithic Consobranus. They're just kind of there, hanging out, chilling. I don't really want to grow them. I just kind of like how they look at the current size of like 70, 80 workers. I don't really want to show them off on the channel much, so there's like a personal colony. Yeah, there's not really much to say about them, honestly. They're just like campanatus. They're not very interesting. So I just kind of stopped talking about them. They still alive though. It's been like when did I get them? I think I got them end of 2020. So wow, they're actually kind of old. Not as old as when my Nove Borkensis were. They were like 5 years old, 5+ years old. Those are the ones I truly miss. Those were the Campos that I actually really liked because they were a nice big colony, stupidly aggressive, a lot of personality to them. Oh, Valenhovia. I've kept them before. They're kind of boring. I'm not even gonna lie. Like an inbreed, they have like this weird. I forget what it's called. Like their elates don't they have wings? Like they have a normal winged elate, and then they have a elate that's like that has shorter wings that can't really fly. But yeah, they're weird. I've kept them. They weren't very fun. They were kind of cool to look at, but otherwise, they were meh. Cut my finger on a glass test tube. That's why I don't use glass. All my stuff is plastic. I mean, if you have them in your area, go for it. They're an interesting ant species to like as far as biology goes, but they aren't really interesting to keep, I guess. If you're living in an area that has Volenhovia, then more than likely you live in an area that also has Brachyponera chinensis, and I'd much rather keep chinensis than Volenhovia. Chinensis are aggressive, like so aggressive, but they're also like very invasive. So, and I don't ever want to keep a species that can actively become invasive in my area. Like that's one of my like rules. So, getting the Volenhovia species, that was kind of a stupid idea. Although ultimately they did end up dying, so ultimately no harm done. Uh, but I never get Brachyponera. Brachyponera is such a massive risk to my area. Like, no way. It would just be like it would just straight up irresponsible to keep them. So I have yet to keep them. No, not fighter males. They don't have fighter males. They have small winged queens. Their males are still winged, and then they also have another type of queen that has full wings that flies out of the nest. They inbreed. They're weird. It's like such a odd, odd species. Sturmy Jennies. Really cool in concept. Never have kept them yet, though. Uh, a few of my friends have been able to find a few Sturmy species. Actually, I think the vast majority of Sturmy species that are in Wisconsin have been found by stateside ants. Um, like the owner of it, alongside a few of his friends. So that's cool. Alongside actually discovering an undescribed species that was actively being described. I think it was Sturmigenes talbotae, I believe is the species. Uh, that was cool. So like if you look in the paper that talbotae was registered in, it talks about him. That was cool. It was the most hyped moment for the Midwest community was probably that, and finding what is it, chromides in Wisconsin. That was cool. That was really cool. I haven't kept them though. Not yet, anyways. I know they're trap jaws. Uh, but besides for that, I know nothing about their care, nor like how to identify them. See you later, Daniel. Oh boy. That's just a dust bunny. Okay, I thought it was one of my spiders. They're swarming less on these guys. Earlier they were swarming like crazy. I just realized that they dragged one of the bodies. I just noticed that. This guy over here. One of the cool things I noticed with this species is that they, when you spray water into their setup, they actually start to drink it, like immediately. They don't just run away from it. They just start like drinking all of the water. Probably because they live in a desert. It's like the first thing they think of is just to drink it. That was pretty cool to see. Oh, I actually have a water bottle here, so maybe I can actually show you that. Yep, and there they go. That water, immediately getting drunk. Or drink. Rip Ada. Yeah, the Ada was definitely a letdown. But hey, at least we still have these guys. That's such a weird thing that they do, because it's not like they're like dehydrated. Like they have water in their nest. Just whenever you give them water in the outworld, they just swarm it. Almost like what like normal Fidelite do to like a sugar water response or like a sugar response in general. So weird. Such quirky ants. Like there's so many just like weird things that I've discovered about them. far as behavior wise. It's just like weird desert thing. Things like this where they just like swarm water like it's sugar. Even though all it is just like it is just water. Like that is it, and they're swarming it like crazy. That worker's gonna break the water tension. Maybe? Oh, oh, nope, didn't. So weird. Hopefully next year I can get more ADA. That'd be nice. ADA work. So cool. Yeah, Mega go crazy. Like Megacephala, oh my lord. I remember their sugar response was just it's like incredible. Like definitely one of the most impressive sugar responses. Buy Seneca then. Idiot. My lord. Look at him go. I just start doing regular live streams again. It's always just kind of a good way to waste time. Not really wasting, but like if I have nothing going on, might as well. Streaming on Twitch is fun, but I don't feel like getting a TOS ban because of the things that my friends say. So I guess YouTube is the way to go. Oh my lord, that roach is going to break the water barrier. Oh no. Don't stop moving forward. But they're expensive. Yeah, that's the entire... Oh, my cat decided to break into my room. Just like what she decided to do in the video. Yeah, I would get... they are expensive. But I think they'd be worth the savings, seeing as in they're just like a smaller version of Rhea. The smaller Asian version of Rhea. Dog, are you serious? Oh, you go. Go. Leave the room. Only $75 per queen? I'd buy that. I spent $200 on my Rhea. An investment that definitely paid off, to say the least. These ants were $200, and that was for a colony with 20 workers. And I think they're still going at that rate. These ants were quite the hefty fortune, rather. Not really, but I mean the ADA were definitely a larger amount of money than what the Fatal Rhea were, but still, $200 for this colony. Which, once again, I don't regret that $200 at all. This is great. This is amazing. An absolutely deal. An absolute deal for just this. Paid itself off with the content that I've been able to make for of them, and also just in general enjoyment of the colony. That's almost about the size of the normal majors for Rhea. Supers are so big. Rhea majors just vary so much. It's crazy. Oh boy, some workers are getting stuck in the water. They'll drown temporarily, but they'll get saved. I don't know much about Myrmicaria, to be honest. Each time that roach struggles, it just brings more and more ants to it. This is because it felt the water. Finally. That's the current situation. The third roach is literally off screen at the moment. How's it going, Hoth? Welcome to the beautiful stream. Glad that we have made a recovery. Not gonna wait. Okay. Yeah, they've definitely made the recovery. They're pretty much back up to what they were before, but I'm gonna grow them larger than what they were before, which I don't know if that's a smarter idea or if that's not a smart idea. I think it's not a smart idea, but we're gonna continue trying and we're gonna continue growing until eventually I get sick and tired of it and then I shrink the colony again. Yeah. You missed it early in the stream. They were absolutely swarming over the roaches, but now because they've gotten their fill, these are just extra roaches that my scorpions didn't eat, so the Rhea have gotten them. Also, the water. Just the small amount of water that I decided to spray in there to show off the really weird water response of them. You will not like the upcoming video next week, then, Hoth. No. I like my ant content a lot, but because of the low amount of ant colonies I have right now, I'm going to be getting some more non-ant insects. There's nothing much on the market at the moment for ants. And, I mean, now because I only have like 2 colonies right now, As far as ants go, I'm just gonna focus on feeding the Rhea just stupid amounts of food until they get massive. This coming up winter's ant keeping is going to be almost completely focused the on what I catch from Arizona. After I'm done in Arizona, whatever I caught from there is going to be up here and hopefully still kicking. Yes, you're going through the exotics phase. It's like it's very weird. Like a lot of like what I notice, at least in the U.S., is that like ant keepers go through like certain phases, uh, like depending on where they are in ant keeping. Like they'll go through like the like normally just keeping exotics or not just keeping exotics, but keeping mostly native, maybe some exotics, to moving over to almost 100% exotics, to going into like putting back into more of like the natives slash like locally like in the country exotics, and then you know they move into I don't care. It's a weird cycle, and a cycle that I have been through. I mean, yeah, but generally most ant keepers go from like hating their natives, or going from liking their natives to hating their natives, back to liking their natives, and then back to like I don't care really honestly what I keep. Or they go the opposite direction where they like heavily critique specific species but say that this species is 100% way better than this one for very superficial opinionated reasons. Dolichoderus, have fun. High maintenance. I mean, high maintenance, high reward, high difficulty. They're kind of high in everything. In every single regard, Dolichoderus is high. It's like food intake extreme, sugar intake extreme, extreme. Like it's crazy. Um, humidity needs a very high humidity. Like it's like keeping ants on like veteran mode. That's why I want them. Yeah, you're. I don't think anyone should keep Telecoderus. Like from my personal experience, keeping a massive colony of Dolichoderus, nobody should keep Dolichoderus. Like, I think that is one of the few species that I'd say like only museums are fit to keep because of just how insane they are. That was a joke. Geminata okay, actually, I'm gonna make an argument for this. Geminata are easier than Dolichoderus, easy by a long shot, as far as care goes. And as far as like population control, it is so easy to do with Geminata and Invicta. compared to doing it with dolichoderase. Because if you even lower the amount of sugar or a protein intake by a little bit, you risk having a colony collapse. Like a major one at that. Like they are so they are so against living in captivity, which is why I gave mine away because it was just too much work, too high of maintenance. They're cool to see in the wild. They're cool to see captive colonies of, but just not fun to keep. At least that was with Tashenberry. Marrier, I think, are very much the same thing, but maybe the other species that aren't like super colonial should be fine, I'd imagine. They're just gonna be really sensitive, but not grow as big. Xyloni is great. I wish my colony didn't just bite the dust. They're probably my favorite Solenopsis species. I hope to catch them in Arizona. That or Aurea. Aurea is great. If you could ever get your hands on Solenopsis aurea, I definitely take the whatever price they were at if a colony ever popped up on the market again. Like, yeah, like Aurea is probably the best in. Okay, they're pretty much just Xyloni, but gold, and that's pretty much all what makes them better. Their majors are a little bit bigger too, and they're actually fully 100% polygynous, unlike Xyloni, where it's kind of like an iffy thing. My colony was 5 queens, and I was able to grow them out a decent amount, and then they died. But that was my fault mainly. Well, the thing is with Xyloni is that they aren't just red. They come in a wide variety of colors. That's where I think Xyloni definitely shines because the amount of variance that they have among not just the queens but the workers and the majors separately. Like all three can be different and still be in the same colony. My old Xyloni colony had a red head, black bodied Xyloni queen with a dark, really, really dark, almost black red um, workers with bright red majors. Like it was a weirdest combination ever. But they were fun too. It's so pretty. I'm happy I was able to get that colony to Elates before they ended up passing. My other Xyloni colony that I had was pretty much just default Xyloni, but I mean, just take a look throughout. Like, if you ever get the chance, look around like Nevada, Arizona, Texas, and not really much of California. Like from there, and then also in like northern parts of Mexico, the variations, especially in Mexico, just go all over the place. Even within like the same town, there can be like 5 or 6 different variants of Xyloni. It's crazy. Like I've seen, especially like with Mexican keepers, I've seen like queens that look so different from each other, but yet they're still all Xyloni. It's like crazy variations over there. I really want to get down to Mexico because of that as well. I mean, along with everything else that's down in Mexico, but especially those Xyloni variants, I want to see all of them. The black Xyloni are also pretty good, but I also consider them to be kind of default as well. They're like the other default. The queens are just, I don't know, like that species is like, I swear Xyloni is just a massive complex. It's just that they haven't like looked through all of the different Xyloni variants to find which ones are different species. I heard the ones in Nevada are pretty cool. Oh no, yeah, a lot of people, or not a lot, but I know a few people who think the same. Yeah, I think they're still most definitely Geminata group, but they definitely need a classification of some sort to explain the complex because like it's just crazy levels of color variation within their species. That's just like there has to be something else happening within the different regions of Xyloni. Either that or they're just really cool and very diverse like that because, evolution be like that sometimes. So, yeah. Yeah, so we'll, you know, who knows. Hopefully eventually someone will take a look at it and confirm or deny that. I think someone has in the past and they said yeah, they're all the same, but I'm not sure about that. I haven't really looked towards the science of Xyloni in a while. Another species that I want to keep it, or not species, but the hybrid, like the Richteri Invicta hybrid, is absolutely amazing. I love those. I mean, they're okay. I mean, they're slightly larger than the Invicta quote unquote majors, but eh. Seeing the Geminata majors in real life was definitely something. They literally look like Fedole. It's crazy. But then when you looked at the workers, they were very clearly Solenopsis. Like that was an awesome moment. Maybe when I go down to Texas this year, I'll try to record them because I forgot my phone when I did find them, so I didn't take a single photo of the Geminata. But they should still be in the same spot because they were in a very established nest, like hyper established. They were running everything in that area. So much so to the point where like the Dory Myrmex and stuff weren't even really able to get through the area. The only sucky part is that like all of the ants that I saw there were like Chromatogaster, and then they also had what else was there? It was Chromatogaster, it was Solenopsis invicta, Solenopsis geminata, and then the Campanata species, and that's it. It was quite disappointing. A few nights it rained, and I almost went out to look for Invicta Queens, but I decided not to. Chromatogaster is criminally underrated. I like some of them. I mean, I don't really want to keep, I guess. I mean, I enjoy looking at them in the wild. They are so cool to watch in the wild. Like a lineolata is so cool. I when one of the first times, or actually sorry, the first time that I met T Bone and Nolan and Arthropod Antics or Cheeto, whatever you want to call them, uh, we ended up seeing a lineolata colony raiding a wasp nest, and they just completely took it over. Yeah, yeah, like they're so crazy. And then like you can go up to like people in Arizona, ask for their queens, and they'll give them to you for like $15 because like they're worthless there. But meanwhile, up north, they're like absolutely sought after. Oh boy, dog was going crazy. They were really cool to observe in the wild. I've kept Lineolata, and they were cool to see in like in a personal like colony. They escaped often though. Like they never wanted to be inside of their nest. They're one of the cooler colonies that I've owned, in my opinion, as far as it goes with natives. Yeah, it was like a five queen colony of Lineolata. But in total, I think that day Cheeto, that was back in 2019, so that was back when Cheeto slash Tyler slash I'm just gonna say Cheeto because that's how I've known him for a while. That was when Cheeto was still living in Illinois, and he ended up keeping like 15 plus queens because he just picked up like so there was this log, and under this log there was a singular glove, and he collected like four queens, I think. And he was like, okay, that's it. I'm just gonna take the glove because it's covered in workers. Well, he opened up the glove when he got home, and it had at least 15 to 20 queens inside of it, plus a few thousand workers. So he ended up getting the largest share of the colony by complete and utter accident. I think T Bone took home like a four queen colony, and I took home a four queen out of that trip. But like still, like that, the amount of queens they stuffed into that glove was just absolutely incredible. Just like actually go anting. I I've been only anting in my backyard for years, so surely it can't be. I mean, okay, but then again, you do live. I think you live in a city, anyways. Oh, yeah, no, you got to go out there for like hours on end. When you go anting, you got to commit to it. I say in my backyard, I mean like in my local area, not like my actual physical backyard. My backyard is like literally swamp, so there's like nothing there. There might be minutus in there. I've thought about there being possibly minutus in my backyard, but I haven't went into the swamp yet to check. Because each time I remember that, by the time I get out there, the swamp is already melted. So going out there is just an absolute pain. But I think there might be minutus in my backyard. I definitely have to check it out. Also, talking to a few wildlife people in my area, or like local hikers, they've pointed me in a few directions this year. So hopefully, I'll have some new areas to go looking and hiking in for next year's anting videos. I miss the Camp Nas Nova work on this. I do too. I wish I actually got a queen that survived this year because I really wanted to have a colony. But no, sadly not. Hopefully next year. If I don't catch Nove next year, I'm gonna be actually enraged and like angry. Yeah, because it would be definitely. I think I'd literally like go into a depression and like drink or something. Singularis seemed like a. Oh, that's the first time in the stream that it cut out randomly. Wow, it cut out at the hour and 54-minute mark. Good job, stream. That's amazing. You went for so much longer before cutting out randomly. And it wasn't even for that long. It only did like a second. It probably wasn't really even seen on your guys' end, but that's still just I need a clap for my internet. I forget what Manitoban's setup is like. I'm not gonna lie. I know that it's cool, but I haven't seen it in a while. Let alone have I really talked to Manitoban. Pine needles in 20 gal. That's awesome. Are you serious? And they're living in that. That's crazy. No dirt, no nothing. Just pine needles in a 20 gallon. That's weird. Also, kind of surprising that that's even working. Oh, okay. Half an inch of dirt, that's understandable. I miss my Dolichoderus because like how they made their nest was so weird. Like they pretty much made a bivouac. It was so cool. They just like dug a hole in the ground, like covered the top of it, top of the hole with pine needles, and then the rest was just ants. It was so impressive. Also, they had a weird smell to them. That was the weirdest part about them was that they smelled weird. I mean, they're Dolichoderinae. It's kind of expected. Most species of them have weird smells, but they in particular had a really odd stench compared to like Lineolata or Tapenoma. Or why did I say Lineolata? Uh, why can't I remember the name? The other, the big Dolichoderinae that has like that's so hard. What is it called? I'm trying to. Well, now I'm trying to figure it out now because that's gonna annoy me. I literally kept them. I kept them. Why is the only thing I can remember? No, 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 not the name of the. Yeah, I know I kept Taschenberg. I'm talking about the other species of Dolichoderinae. Dolichoderinae, so like Tapenoma, uh, Dolichoderus, obviously, um, Linapithema. Those are all like Dolichoderinae. They're big. They come from Arizona and like that southern region. Goes into Mexico. Why can't I remember? Limatopum. Oh my lord. How did I forget that? It's Limatopum. Compared to Limatopum, which was the other species I had, they were pretty normal. Who sent a message that was marked as inappropriate? I can't see it. I couldn't imagine keeping. Yeah, you can't really keep them long term. It's kind of impossible. I've yet to see anyone to keep them long term. I think it's literally impossible for anyone to keep them longer than a few months alive, as far as it goes with uh, Dolichoderus. Like, it's so difficult. It's such a massive difficulty. Obscuripes, though, that's easy. Obscuripes, keeping Obscuripes, that's way more of a thing that you can keep compared to Dolichoderus. Like, really, the only thing that you have to worry about with those like Obscuripes and Obscurventress is the fact that you need to make sure that they have sugar, and that's it. Like that's like the your one worry that you have to make sure of. Otherwise, just feed them protein like normal. They just run through such an insane amount of sugar. Maybe one day. Perhaps. Perhaps one day you'll achieve your dream of keeping them. uh, oh wow, it's dark out now. I've been streaming for so long that it went from being day to night. What time is it? 4:51. I've been streaming for 2 hours now. Well then. Good luck in collecting a colony, though. They can be quite difficult. I have yet to collect a colony myself. Alright, well, seeing as I've been streaming for 2 hours, I might as well just try to end it now. I mean, not yet. But as you can see, these guys are doing their thing, still eating just as well. Second colony that I kind of forgot that was eating. How are they doing? They're doing fine. They kind of stopped their feeding frenzy, though. They're all back in the nest. That's good. 144p. Sorry. Yeah, you kind of can't see them. I'm not gonna lie. They're tiny little Fedole. Yeah, they're fine. Of course, all the scorpions and all that down here. They're all chilling. Add an update. They're dying. They stopped eating their food after I removed their queen, which is still in this thing here alongside a major. After I removed the queen, they had no will to live, and they proceeded to stop feeding the fungus. So as you can see, clearly have food. Clearly, let me zoom in here. Right, clearly have food, clearly have everything. And then guess what? Guess what? I flip this, look at their fungus. How? How? They were doing so fine. It was so upsetting. Like, I could have kept them in here, and they would have been fine. But because I removed the stupid queen's body, they decided to kill themselves. Game end themselves. Sorry, YouTube. That's a word. It's so annoying. You left your queen in the setup and they still killed it? That sucks. I mean, I took mine out when they killed it, so I mean... It's so frustrating. It's so annoying. But I mean, there's not really much that you can do about it. Yeah, like literally. Like the second they realized that the queen was gone and dead, they just decided to kill themselves. Game end themselves. Sorry, YouTube. YouTube, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, YouTube. They decided to game end themselves, like almost immediately, so you know. Like no other ants that I know of just like decide to stop foraging once a queen dies. But like them, they just immediately started destroying the fungus. It's so annoying. Like they could have lived to the point where like they had some sort of you know, they could have gotten a new queen, but instead no. They decided to kill the game on themselves. Gotta be careful. YouTube gods are watching. Anyways, I got new beetles, or not beetles, roaches. That's the other update. That's why these guys are now going to be fed regular stuff. And yeah. Anyways, that's it for this stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Went on for about an hour longer than what I had planned, but you know what? That's all right. So yeah, and it's funny because I could probably continue on for another 30 minutes if I wanted to because my phone is still not even there to being dead. So yeah, anyways, I guess like the stream now if you haven't already. If you've enjoyed the talking and the watching of ants and the everything and the yeah. Yeah, I guess that's it. Bye. But I have to end. I have to end. I have to. Oh, they went away. I have to end the stream. Oh.